I think one thing that also has been really interesting for me is looking at why we ourselves, but also our clients, why we continue to purchase real estate through the volatility, right? And seeing how that volatility impacts different people. And I think a lot of it is that news versus noise, Ron, that you were talking about, that, moving forward and purchasing real estate based on the fundamentals of what real estate can do and what real estate does, and not looking at, prices are slashed, like all of, that noise that you can get. And like you said, Ron, they put percentages on $100,000 house saying that home prices drop 10%. That's $10,000, right? It's not like the end of the world versus, putting the actual number.
Yeah. So. And in your current example, that didn't happen. It's $1 million house that dropped.
Yeah, exactly.
Those are the ones dropping. And they're skewing all of the numbers, right? Mm-hmm. And I mean, if you just bought one of those fourplexes in Boise, 3 or 4 months ago for, almost $900,000, you might actually start to consider whether or not you made a horrible decision. That actually, because it didn't cash flow when you bought it. I don't know why you bought it. If you did, I'm glad you bought it from our clients and they made, $600,000 on your crappy purchase, but you didn't. If you bought one of those, you didn't buy based on good fundamentals, and since you didn't, you probably are going to lose some money. But that doesn't keep people from investing in real estate. Everybody that I know is still buying, and we're just buying on the same look. The presentation hasn't changed since I started doing it in 2000. Well, it wasn't 2005. I started selling things in 2005, but 2007 when I started doing the presentations live, it's the same thing. Tell me where else you can get an investment that does everything that real estate does. And then if somebody can produce it and it's legit, I will add it to my repertoire. Otherwise, I have not found anything that produces the same kind of returns, even during volatile markets.
Yeah. I think we should go over this one more time because I know we've covered this before, but I've had multiple clients reach out to me and say, please don't just cover something once and assume that we get it and that it's fully digested. I mean, I relearn stuff all the time. I'm sure you do too, Ron, like you just remember what you knew. So you own 100% of it, right? You own the entire thing. You're not having a partner usually, right, that's out of your control or can go rogue or anything like that. You own 100% of the asset.
And compare that to a stock where you own a microcosm of the company and you have zero control.
Yes, because you personally can affect the value of the stock, which that's crazy. I mean, you can raise rents, you can upgrade a kitchen or whatever and bring up the value of what you own. And that's the part of the stock market that you have zero control over, right?
Nope. You can't control their mouths. You can't control anything that they do. And then, the CEO can tank a stock just by saying something stupid. Mm-hmm. Your houses don't say anything stupid. So you don't have to worry about it.
It's true. And then it provides a high dividend, right? Real estate, if we're comparing it to stock, that you have that cash flow.
Heather, do it like let's do an average. Let's do a one that's not even that great. How about a 6% cash on cash return? 6%. Show me a stock that produces a 6% dividend, please. Show me one. And then in addition to that, it has some kind of a growth component to it as well.
Yeah.
You can't show me one, but if you could, you're still not going to get the rest of what real estate can do, right?
It's true. I feel like if people found that stock, they'd be losing their minds, right? Like
no one would believe it.
I know. And then one of my favorites, you can purchase the stock on payments over 30 years at a fixed interest rate. Like, oh yeah, I want to buy that stock, but I can't afford all of it, so I'm just going to finance it.
Yeah, and then not only that, but you can go hire someone to live in your stock and pay for it for you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
I
amazing.
mean, and then there's the tax advantage, right? So let's just go over these again. You have 100% control. You own 100% of it. It produces a high dividend or cash flow.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time providing a high appreciation or capital gain, right? Along with tax reduction that you can finance on incredible terms, fixed payments for 30 years that someone else pays for you on your behalf. Now, if that stock existed, no one would buy it because it's too good to be true.
Yeah.
And yet that's exactly what rental real estate does. And so while everyone out there is freaking out and losing their minds,
Mm-hmm.
smart people are still investing. And I think I said this the other day, but I'm getting ready to go under contract on a property that I'm buying with a partner. And one of my buddies said something. I'm looking for the actual quote. Here it is. The brave will be rewarded this quarter. Time to buy.
Yeah. I love that.
And I agree with that, because the time value of money, if you let your money just sit and do nothing, you're losing money to inflation. I mean, big time right now, big time. And I don't think that train's ending anytime soon.